All Blacks in England this weekend, folks. There's already some changes to the squads, which have not yet been named, but injury has forced a few guys out. There have been a few guys called in. We'll go through these squads, plus the All Blacks 15. They've got some matches on the horizon too. What impacts on their squad? You guys can let us know your thoughts on which squads you think are going to be named this weekend. But essentially, for now, Luke Jacobson is out. His broken thumb means he will not leave New Zealand. He was initially kind of nursing that broken thumb injury. Razor was hoping that he would be available at some point during the tour, but he's gone. That means Peter Lakai, who got his debut against Japan at the weekend, essentially kind of takes that spot. He is that versatile loose forward. He's the youngster. He can cover multiple positions in the back row. And he came off the bench, as I said, got about half an hour's game time against Japan. So it's an opportunity for him. Also, Josh Lord remains with the All Blacks instead of going with the All Blacks 15, where he was initially named, with Blackadder and Papali'i also still kind of nursing injuries. They have not been ruled out just yet. They are both hopefully going to be back by the time we play France. But Josh Lord, as I said, he remains with the All Blacks. So that's kind of a blow for the All Blacks 15, but potentially an opportunity for him. And then Christian Leo Willie, another Crusaders connection with Lakai having to kind of step up for Jacobson. I guess Leo Willie kind of takes Lakai's spot as the All Blacks kind of squad cover. So he's not in the squad proper, but he is there as cover. So he'll be holding the tackle bags. He'll be training with the All Blacks boys. That means another one less player for the All Blacks 15 to choose from ahead of their couple of games against Munster and against Georgia. Geordie Barrett is also apparently recovering pretty well. Hopes are that he should be available for selection against England. Remember, he's missed a bit of time with injury from the Rugby Championship. Some of the guys who were with the All Blacks squad who are due to kind of fulfill All Blacks 15 duties, apart from Leo Willie, the likes of Bradley Slater, AJ Lamb, Fabian Holland, Oliver Haig. I think these guys are all due to join up with the All Blacks 15 rather than stay with the All Blacks going forward. But I guess both squads being in Europe means if there are more injuries, some of these guys will be able to kind of swap one for the other. For England, they've lost a couple of their bits of tall timber with Charlie Ewels and Ollie Chessum. These guys have got a knee injury for Chessum and a head knock ruling Charlie Ewels out. So that's kind of unfortunate for those guys. And then Tom Roebuck, the sail flyer on the wing, he has just seemingly been dropped from the squad. And interestingly, they've called up George Ford, the veteran. They've called up Ted Hill, who I'm particularly pleased by. Like, sadly, they're not showing the premiership here in New Zealand this season, but Ted Hill, I remember watching him even back when he was playing for Worcester and looked like a cracking player. Big bit of tall, loose forward who can fill in at lock when needs be. Really high work rate guy, so he's been called in. So hopefully he'll get to add at some point during this November to his 2 England caps, I think it is. And then Alex Coles as well, kind of a like-for-like lock replacement. He's a proper bit of tall timber. He's like, 6'9"? So sometimes it's nice to have that extra bit of height. But I mean, they've got Ezekwe, they've got Itoje, they've got George Martin. So the England second row, despite the injuries, is still looking pretty decent for depth. But a few changes. We'll wait and see what kind of squads are going to get named for this weekend. Remember, Scotland and Fiji will also be in action as well. But those squads will be without some of their overseas-based players, essentially. So it's likely to be a large chunk of the Fijian and Drua from Super Rugby up against Glasgow and Edinburgh from the URC. One of the things about England and New Zealand having kind of all their players centrally contracted and having to play in, or at least I don't know if England's is centrally contracted, but having to have their players pickable from the Premiership or Super Rugby in New Zealand's case means that everybody's available. So it's 2 full strength sides for this out of test window game. You guys let us know your thoughts. How do you think these replacements are going to go? Do you see any of these guys potentially going through into the starting 23s of either squad, or are these guys going to be largely holding tackle bags for this current game week? You guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.